Mike Proto here with Rob Hermansen. Rob's running for a freeholder here in Bergen County. I want to get a little bit of a taste of some local level politics. Rob, I think we have one thing in common. I think we're both no longer YRs. How about that?
That's right. The last year I took care of that.
I know, it's to be for you. I just want to ask you some questions about the race. One thing that happened this week was Joe Ferriero got indicted on fraud charges. Corruption is a big issue here in Bergen County. Do you have any insights on that?
First of all, I feel very badly for his family. You know, you have young children, and as someone who has 4 young kids, I feel very badly for them, what they have to go through with this. I also feel very, very badly for Bergen County. Again, here we are, we're thrown into the forefront of corruption issues, and it would be something that I would love to see change, that we would stop this. But unfortunately, I think with the way what's going on with pay to play and everything that's happening, it's one of the most negative things that affects our candidates, and especially from the other side. And so my feeling with Joe is that you have 2 candidates right now who I'm running against who are beholden to him. They were put there in the first place, and they came right from hand selected from Joe Ferriero. And I think Vernon Walton was in 15 minutes with the vote after 2 hours. They were allowed to vote for 2 hours, and doors got closed in 15 minutes. So, I think it's got to change, and I'm hoping that this is going to be the year, with John Driscoll and myself, that we start to change things in Bergen County of what's happening.
Do you feel that that's something you're going to use in the last week or so of the campaign, the corruption issue?
Not really, because I want to stay above what's going on. Let the papers take care of that. They already have. They've done what they're supposed to. My feeling is it should be about the issues, the real issues. Property taxes, wasteful spending, and absolutely no oversight. I mean, if you take a look at what goes on and what we've seen going on, resolutions being passed, things that are happening, and they don't even know what they're voting on, I really truly believe that oversight is the key of what needs to be, people need to really focus on that.
Actually, one of the issues that Ferriero was in trouble over was the open space issue, the Green Acres. I believe he was taking money from those funds. What is your position on the ballot question that's up right now, ballot question number 1? And what do you think about the situation with Ferriero using those open space funds?
Again, you have 2 things that are going on. One issue that you have right now that's going on is with the open space funds, is you have each town has their own open space money, and most towns are doing that and raising money through open space. So I don't understand why I need to go to the state to continue to raise funds from open space on towns that towns under the town wants. Let us do it ourselves. We know what we want. We know what's going on in our towns. For us in Mahwah, we're one of the biggest proponents of open space, and are the biggest proponent in Bergen County for areas saved for open space. So again, I'm totally against raising another $400 million right now through the state on this side, because why should someone here in Mahwah pay for something going on in Essex County? And why should someone in Essex County pay for something that's going on here in Fairmont? Okay, each town should be able to do it. They should be able to do it on their own. And I really believe that it's just nothing more than, again, of another tax burden and another debt laden to put on top of the taxpayer here. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. As for Ferriero, look, does it really surprise you that he went in and touched money anywhere? I mean, come on. If they could get their hands on anything, I really believe that they would try to attempt to do it. Which is the reason why I think if you take a look what happened just recently, all right, him and his and his cohort is now going to be doing some time. So I just think it doesn't surprise me, it doesn't shock me.
Okay. I know we don't have a lot of time, so we wanted to cut to the chase on property taxes. Obviously, that's the #1 issue in the minds of voters this year in New Jersey. As a freeholder, can you tell us what your plan is to address property taxes?
I just said 3 things. Right now, wasteful spending. Okay, your taxes, where the taxes are. You have taxes and your wasteful spending, and you also have the oversight. And I think that if you combine those 3 and work on it, if you have real, true oversight what's going on in the county, you're going to be able to watch where things are being spent and unfairly spent, and in the wrong spots. And that's your wasteful spending, and that comes down and then it controls things. I also believe that we have to do something about debt. But the debt right now is spiraling out of control here. We're supposed to have. Remember, our good governor came in and passed, the resolution and then went to law about a cap in the county of 4%. We're supposed to be capped. But the only thing that you're allowed outside the cap is debt. So they're supposed to have a 4% cap, but because of debt, we were at 7.8% this year because of the amount of money that they increased by debt.
Right.
So to me, those are the things you have to go in and you have to eliminate. You have to eliminate the spending right now, the debt, and continue to stop rolling over, put it on future generations and our children's backs. And and this is a constant thing that is being told year after year after year. All right, that are being said by people. This is what we're going to do. And Dennis McNerney, I was on a show with Dennis McNerney the other day. Dennis said to me, we have a AAA rating. We have a AAA rating. We have lowest tax rate. I'm like, yeah, great, Dennis. And the way you keep going, all right, we're not going to have a AAA rating for much longer. All right, it's something we've got to control those items. And if we do, then I think everything else, you start to see your property tax come back down.
I think we had a good example during the week. You had some video from the Freeholders where they actually spent, what was it, $100,000, and they didn't even know what they were spending it on?
It was wonderful. And not only did they not know what they were spending it on, okay, and they told the gentleman that they were going to get back to him on it, okay, which you can see it on my website on Rob Hermansen for Freeholder. You can go in there and download it, and you can take a look, because the $100,000 that was supposed to be a park grant, someone asked, it wasn't. They didn't know. And then 15 minutes later, they all looked at each other, told him that they were going to get his name and number to get back to him over the issue, and then they in turn voted on the same resolution they were getting back to him on that they didn't know anything about. That's the oversight that I'm talking about. It's the oversight in the school system and the superintendent of schools, and and going on. It's watching them going in on $888,000 in trips that are being signed off on that they didn't even tell you what they were for or afterwards of how they were going to be used for their kids. It's those things. It really is. It's the ridiculousness.
A prerequisite to being a Democratic politician is to not read the bill and then vote on it. So that seems to be what they did.
And Mr. Rothman likes that too.
I was wondering if you wanted to touch on the issue with the Bergen County technical schools and what was going on with that.
That's what I was just basically alluding to. They just had a vote of no confidence in the superintendent. I don't ever remember that before, ever. And here we are, everyone says about with Republicans, the education. You have people right now who are voting no confidence to people who are being assigned in there from a Democratic side. Okay, it really is pitiful. It's pitiful for our kids. The money is being wasted. They should be going back to the kids. It should be spent on things. And even better, if they don't need to spend the money and they're putting them on trips, to China and going to New Orleans and all these other places. And don't forget the ski trip to a chemo. All right, I can't wait for them to go in and see if they would like to take me to a chemo. All right, for a weekend. And not to mention, a lawyer also just had our expenses that he went in $2,000 on December 22nd. Down in Morton's in Atlantic City. Sounds like a pretty good Christmas party to me. I don't know. $2,000 for spending. I know people who are putting in $10 from McDonald's. Okay, and this guy's putting in $2,000 from Morton's to be reimbursed. That's the oversight. It's got to stop. It really has got to stop everywhere.
Well, there was one thing I was surprised to read too, and I think it was in the Bergen Record last week, that you actually had to spend $26 pay to see the budget in Bergen County. That's transparency in Bergen County. I think it starts from the top down report. It really isn't.
Well, it's kind of funny how that all works. I was told that when I went in to get the budget, and the way it was going to work was that I had to pay in order to get it. And I said, I don't understand. This is our budget. When you go to Mahwah right now, where I'm a councilman, you go up there and you look on there. Our budget's online. How is the budget, Bergen County's budget, not online? And I will tell you that one of the great things that happened during this election is how many people have come to us and thanked us for putting the budget online. 2 professors from 2 different schools came to us and said, listen, we're doing projects on the property tax, on what's going on in Bergen County, and I want you to know that we would have had to pay to get it. Instead, we went right to your website, downloaded it, and used it for copies for our kids, and thanked them. And I said, you know what? Those are the things that makes me feel good. It lets me know that we're doing the right thing, and our opponents on the other side, transparency. Yeah, if it was a black wall, maybe that's about as transparent as it is. So,
All right, Rob, I appreciate you spending a few minutes with us.
Thank you very much.
And I wish you luck on election day.
Thank you very much.
Good. Who the hell do you think you are? Move it a little bit to the right.